What's good? It's Cadillaktrackz. I just want to go back over my custom MK3 Fruity Loop Studio template. It's a little better screen and a better recording. On the template, I got a dedicated play, record, stop. I also have a restart, which will do a continue. It'll actually continue from wherever I stop at. We have an erase button that's like a cut. It'll cut or erase any notes that I lay down. If I was to lay down any notes on the machine, it's going to go ahead and it's going to erase them real quick. Even if I laid down notes, like right here, and I went to erase, it's going to erase them right there. Same thing if they're in the playlist. If they're in the playlist like this. Anytime you push erase right here, it's going to erase them. You can see that. Also, the mute button does the same thing as the erase. Mute will erase buttons. You can see the pads. The big thing that I wanted to go over with y'all was the scale right here. The scale is a minor scale. It's mapped out in every key, A through A sharp, all the way through G. And it's in every key. You might not be able to tell, but they're all blue. But every octave is actually a lighter shade of blue. It's actually turquoise. So you can actually see the different keys out of the octave. So this one right here, as you can see, is in E. It starts right here with the E. So this one right here is in the E key. So this is an E, this is an E, and this is an E. So you have 3 E's, and it's got 4 levels of octaves. It goes all the way down to -1, all the way up to +7. So it would be C-1 all the way up to C7. And it'll correspond, and you can see every time you do that it goes through different pads, and the keys you can see they're going up, starting at -1, going up to 1, and going all the way up to 7, E7. So right here on the left side, I just want to go back over the functions. A lot of these are blacked out. The keys that we're not using are blacked out. I added Mod Wheel support. That's a big thing. Mod Wheel support is going to support any type of VST or plugin that you open up. And that's just like what it's supposed to be, Mod Wheel. Like when I opened up Nexus, I went ahead and opened up Nexus, and I linked it up to the Mod Wheel. Nexus function. You would just go here to Mod and put source Mod Wheel, and I could play something. And I only got one hand here, but I could play something and I can hit the Mod Wheel. So that's a real big thing to be able to do the Mod Wheel like that. We have a dedicated jog button right here I was showing you. This is actually a jog button. I can use it to jog through Fruity Loops. So if I'm going through my sound browser right here and I'm going through drum kits, I can actually use the Mod Wheel to run through sounds quickly, very quickly. Before you would actually have to push down on your keyboard, as fast as you could. Now you can actually use this wheel dedicated, and it actually goes into kits, and I can also push back on it like this, and I can close the kit and close the current folder that I was just in. So I can navigate very good like that, and I can go in here, and if it's not what I wanted, I can actually back out of that and go back down to the next folder. Real quick, real fast. I have a save button. It's dedicated to save. If I push save here, it'll open up the save option. I believe this is a demo mode. So I push save, and it said right there the save option dialog window. And I have a settings button. It's linked up to the Fruity Loop settings. So when I push settings right here, it's going to open up the settings inside of Fruity Loops. You see the settings screen right there. That's for MIDI options and MIDI input and out, and you can go ahead and tab over to the audio and everything else. I have right here, these buttons right here are already dedicated to the machine. They actually help us go from page 1 over here to page 2, and I'm going to go over that here in just 1 second. I have a dedicated browser plugin button. So this right here, the browser plugin, it's dedicated to the plugin browser in Fruity Loops. This screen right here, where you open up all your plugins. I don't use this a lot of us don't, but you can if you'd like to. Real quick, and we have the arranger button. It opened up the arranger, or Fruity Loop style would be the playlist, where you can actually arrange the beat out. We have a mixer button to open up the mixer that's dedicated. Then I got this plug-in instance button. This opens up an instance of any plugin, like this channel right here. Let's say this right here. Let's say I had this Nexus right here. And let's just say it was on channel 17, and I had some plugins on this Nexus. So let's just try to open up some more plugins. And with those plugins on that channel right there, anytime I'm going through sounds right here on the Fruity Loops channel rack, I can open up a channel like so. Once I have a channel selected, I can push the plugin instance button. It's going to show me every channel or every effects that's on that channel. So as I push it, it's going to load up the different plugins that I loaded up for that channel. And this right here is the Nexus right here. So once you highlight it and you open up the channel, it's going to link up to it. When I push it again, it's going to start to open up all the plugins. You can see right there it has a limiter attached to it. We have a dedicated button right here for the mixer again, so I can go into the mixer, and when you go into this channel, you can see, yeah, it does have a dedicated limiter right there on it. So that's why I pulled up the limiter right there. I have a dedicated exit window button where it's going to exit any window that's open, so I can go ahead and exit that window. I can exit this mixer, and any channel that you select, when you select it, it selects the mixer channel in Fruity Loops. Once the mixer channel is selected, you can push in the plugin button. It's going to pull up any plugin or effect that's on that channel. We have a dedicated playlist button, a dedicated channel rack button, piano roll, and a mixer button. And that's just like it says. Playlist will open up the playlist. You can see the playlist opening up here in the background. I'm going to go ahead and push the exit window button to close these screens right here that are in our way. Just one moment. We can push playlist, channel rack, piano roll, mixer, extra windows, extra menus. I have another button right here which is maximize. It maximizes any screen that can be maximized. This is a Fruity limiter. It can be maximized, so you can push the maximize button. You can maximize it. You can go back. You push exit to exit that window, exit again to exit that window. The extra menu button, it opens up any extra menus. Inside of the playlist, we have this extra menu available. Different windows have different menus available. You know, inside of this one, I think the extra menu would actually open up this tab right here. And inside the playlist, extra menus, there's no extra menu for the playlist. Alright, we also have this right here, dedicated Metro button. That's a dedicated button for the metronome. I can push down on it, it'll arm the metronome. I have a dedicated snap, it'll change the snap. I'm going to put it online. We have a dedicated tempo button where I can move it like this and I can change the tempo. You can see the tempo moving. I have a dedicated undo button. And that does exactly like we said. Look at the undo history. This is the undo history. You can see me just running through it quick. This is all type of edits. Huge edits. I can do that on the channel rack level, or I can do that inside the piano roll level. And you can see the notes coming out and the notes coming in. Real handy. We have a jog. Jog is just like it says, it'll jog through functions. Right now I'm using channel velocity. If I move this wheel right here and I move jog, it'll start to move that wheel right there. Jog has different functions in different screens. If you have this screen selected, it will actually go through which channel you have selected. If I don't have this channel here open, I just have Fruity Loops open, it'll start to jog through the playlist time. I think that's about it. If you go over to the channel racks, I have channel 15 through channel 22 linked up. These buttons right here will correspond to the solo. We just hit that, just hit over to go to page 2. and it starts to link up. So I'm going to go ahead and open up the channel rack so y'all can see that. I'm going to go over here to page 2. And as I hit page 2, as I hit these volume knobs, they correspond to the volume. So I can hit volume, and you can see the volumes going up and down. And I also have the solo buttons right here. So I can hit solo and bring them on and offline. So these are most of the features right here. I just wanted y'all to see that with the template mode, it's custom template on every key. If you hold down shift right here, it's a dedicated button. You can hold down shift and it brings up this screen right here. So if I hold shift and then I click right there where it's saying templates, you can see that it opens up this screen right here that lets me browse through my different templates. And these are all the templates that I include in it. Starts up here with it says LAK, L-A-K. That's just the template without the scales. That's the custom template with all the keys and no scale mappings. You could use that as a reference if you wanted to create another scale. And then it starts at scale A, and then it goes down. Once you pick a scale, you just push load. It'll load up on the screen like that. You hold down to hold shift again, and you're going to push the knobs button up top. So go ahead and do that. Once you do that, you're in the key that you highlighted. You can see right there, it's in the key of B now. I can pick a different octave, whatever octave I feel like I need to be in, and start playing my instrument in that key. You know, and at any time you can move through the controls. So it really does link up real good with Fruity Loops. I just want to go over the scales. And also the mod wheel, it's a big thing, you know, to be able to have the mod wheel now linked up. And that's what it looks like. That corresponds to the level of modulation. Every plugin can be linked up real quick to the mod wheel. This is Cadillaktrackz. This is the custom MK3 template one.